Okay, looks like all the machines are off the course, so we're underway again with competitor 301, Cameron Webster and Freddie. Cameron is a local, doesn't live very far at all from here. And he's out on course. Competitor 301, Cameron Webster and Freddie. 302 now goes on camp, Laurie Beard. Stand by 303, Joe Marr. 304, Lloyd Aquilina. 305, Lachlan Thompson. 306, Ben Hall. 307, Darren Jordanson. And 308 will be Jason Lindley. I see you're still living at Kingaroy, which is not the case. So if we get that wrong, it's only the information that we've been given off Campdraft Central. And he's heading up the other end of the course. 302, Laurie Beard, Must Be the Moonshine. Standing by, 303, Joe Marr. 304, Lloyd Aquilina. 305, Lachlan Thompson. Score for Laurie Beard and Must Be the Moonshine, cut out 21, horsework 59, course 4 for a total of 84. That's 84 points for Laurie Beard. .303 on course, Joe Marr with Joma Jakota. 304 on camp, Lloyd Aquilina. 305 standby, Lachlan Thompson. 306 Ben Hall. 307 Daryl Jordison. 308 Jason Lindley. 309 Troy Palmer. 310 Ben Knight. 311 Lindsay Hindle. 312 Kylie Barnett. 313 Charles Tapp. 314 Barry Johnson. 315 Melissa Southern. Please stand by. Score for Joe Marr and Joma Jakota, cut out 21.5. Horsework 63, course 4 for a total of 88.5. 88.5 for Joe Marr and Joma Jakota. .304 now on camp, Lloyd Aquilina with Tack Rossi Nomad. Standing by 305, Lachlan Thompson. 306 Ben Hall. 307 Daryl Jordison. And you're watching the Collier's Agribusiness Maiden Campdraft. Very big thank you to our judges of the Collier's Agribusiness Maiden Campdraft. That's Zane Haberman and Tim Hollis. Thank you very much for accepting the opportunity to judge at Willinga at Juandah Plains Campdraft. Out on course, competitor 304, Lloyd Aquilina with Tack Rossi Nomad. 305 goes on camp. Lachlan Thompson, standby 306, Ben Hall 307, Daryl Jordison 308, Jason Lindley 309, Troy Palmer 310, Ben Knight. Score for Lloyd Aquilina, cut out 19.5. 19.5 for Lloyd. We do have Batesy's Smoke and Grill on the grounds today. They're actually got their ribs on now, so you'll have the opportunity to purchase some slow-cooked ribs tonight. So don't forget to go and support Batesy's Smoke and Grill. On course, competitor 305, Lachlan Thompson with Durkin's Leroy Brown. Have a score very shortly for Lachlan Thompson and Durkin's Leroy Brown. Cut out 22, horsework 61, course 4 for an 87. It's 87 points for Lachlan Thompson and Durkin's Leroy Brown. Ben Hall on camp now at 306, riding a nativity. Standing by 307, Daryl Jordison, 308, Jason Lindley, 309, Troy Palmer, 310, Ben Knight, 311, Lindsay Hindle, 312, Kylie Barnett, 313, Charles Tapp, 314, Barry Johnson, 315, Melissa Southern, 316, Toby Rolfe, 317, Joe Payne, 318, Hugh Miles, 319, Mick Southern, 320, Wyatt Young, 321, Gordon Bales, 322, Matthew Moffat, and 323 will be Stuart Frame. You're currently watching competitor 306, Ben Hall and Naviti. Score for Ben Hall and Naviti, cut out 21.5, horsework 61, course 4 for a total of 86.5. It's an 86.5 for Ben Hall. We'll have a score shortly for competitor 307, Daryl Jordison, one-time cat. And that was a cut out of 16 points for Daryl Jordison. .308 now in camp, Jason Lindley, Malunga's Twinkle. Standing by 309, Troy Palmer, 310, Ben Knight, 311, Lindsay Hindle, 312, Kylie Barnett, 3:13 Charles Tapp, 3:14 Barry Johnson, 3:15 Melissa Southern, 3:16 Toby Rolfe. Cut out 22, horsework 62.5, course 4 for an 88.5 for Jason Lindley and Malunga's Twinkle. Jason was competitor 308. 309 is now on camp. Troy Palmer with Indy Rio. Then we'll have 310 Ben Knight, 311 Lindsay Hindle, 312 Kylie Barnett, 313 Charles Tapp, 314 Barry Johnson, 315 Melissa Southern, 316 Toby Rolfe, 317 Joe Payne, 318 Hugh Miles, 319 Mick Southern, and 320 will be Wyatt Young, which are currently watching. Competitor 309. This is Troy Palmer riding Indy Rio, who is owned by Terry Snow. Score for Troy Palmer and Indy Rio, cut out 22, horsework 57.5, course 3 for an 82.5. It's an 82.5 for Troy Palmer and Indy Rio. And we have a score for Ben Knight and Tough Stylish Chick, cut out 21.5. 21.5 for Ben Knight and Tough Stylish Chick. Competitor 311 Lindsay Hindle is currently on camp with Seligman El Grando. Standing by 312 Kylie Barnett, 313 Charles Tapp, 314 Barry Johnson, 315 Melissa Southern, 316 Toby Rolfe. And that's a no score there for Lindsay. We'll just tidy up the camp, and as soon as the boys have cattle put away, we'll continue on with competitor 312, Kylie Barnett. You're watching competitor 312, Kylie Barnett and Smooth Sports Star. Standing by 313, Charles Tapp, 314, Barry Johnson, 315, Melissa Southern. Cut out of 21 only there for Kylie Barnett and Smooth Sports Star. You're watching competitor 313, Charles Tapp and 2 up. 314 is On Camp, Barry Johnson. Riding Sally, standby 315, Melissa Southern. 316, Toby Rolfe. 317, Joe Payne. 318, Hugh Miles. 319, Mick Southern. 320, White Young. 321, Gordon Bales. 322, Matthew Moffat. 323, Stuart Frame. Score for Charles Tapp, 2 up, cut out 20.5, horsework 56, course 4 for an 80.5. 80.5 for Charles Tapp and 2 up. You're now watching 314, Barry Johnson and Sally. Standing by 315, Melissa Southern. 316, Toby Rolfe. Take this opportunity to thank our major partners at Suffcon, Colliers, Ollie Homes, Condabri Beef, Pumps and Solar and McKechnie Earth Movers. We'd also like to thank our event partners, Outstation Water, Henry Earth Moving, Cobb Industry Solutions, Dulverton Angus, The Pump House, Cree Santa Gertrudis, Roma Wire and Steel, Herefords Australia, Shepherds Electrical, SJH Builders, Sandon Glennock Angus and Rural Property and Livestock. Score for Barry Johnson and Sally, cut out 21, horsework 60.5, course 4 for a total of 85.5. That was Barry Johnson and Sally, 85.5. Looking over at cattle now is competitor 315, Melissa Southern with Playmore Quiver. Out on course, competitor 315, Melissa Southern with Playmore Quiver. Toby Rolfe goes on camp at 316, standby 317, Joe Payne 318, Hugh Miles 319, Mick Southern 320, White Young 321, Gordon Bales 322, Matthew Moffat 323, Stuart Frame 324, Emma Knight 325, Tom Wagner 326, Beck Hayes 327, Drew Fowles and 328 will be William Tapp. Please stand by. We also take this opportunity to thank our partners this week, and I always say weekend, but it's been a whole week of drafting, hasn't it? That's Scott's Haulage, Rural Link, Injamira Herefords, Coprice, ECM Livestock, Westlink Petroleum, Terry Standing, Jordan Ag Services, Rich Living, Verbac, Western Truck Group, DZ Designs, and Rosevale Santa Gertrudis. And we have a score for Melissa Southern for Playmore Quiver, Cutout 15.5, Horsework 59, Course 4, for a total of 78.5. It's a 78.5. I'd also like to thank our supporters. That's Anapro, Duncan Equine, ADG Contracting, Queensland Agricultural Seeds, Nutrient Wandoan, Topex Taroom, Thomson Longhorn, Roma Concrete, Trevor Struber, Juandah Hotel, and Dangerfield Santa Gertrudis. And he's out on course. Competitor 316, Toby Rolfe with Holly. Joe Payne goes on camp at 317, standby 318, Hugh Miles, 319, Mick Southern. Cut out 15.5 for Toby Rolfe. So you're watching the Collier's Agribusiness Maiden Campdraft. This is still the first round. And once again, big thank you to Zane Haberman and Tim Hollis for accepting the opportunity to judge this draft. Thank you to all the competitors who have cooperated this morning. We're certainly running very well to time, so we really appreciate the judges, and we appreciate you as competitors for getting in and getting the job done. Score for Joe Payne and McNamara's Console, cut out 16, Horsework 63, Course 4 for an 83. 16, 63 and 4 for an 83 for Joe Payne, McNamara's Console. Hugh Miles is now on camp at 318 with Smart and Spicy. Standing by 319, Mick Southern, 320, Wyatt Young, 321, Gordon Bales, 322, Matthew Moffat, 323, Stuart Frame, 324, Emma Knight. Score for Hugh Miles and Smart and Spicy, cut out 22, Horsework 62, Course 4 for an 88.5. 22, 60.5 and a 4 for an 88.5 for Hugh Miles and Smart and Spicy. So, score for competitor 319, Mick Southern and Seligman's Comet. Cut out 16, 16 only. This is competitor 320 on camp, Wyatt Young with Stone Acres. Gordon Bales is standing by at 321. Standing by then 322, Matthew Moffat 323, Stuart Frame 324, Ammonite 325, Tom Wagner. So he's out on course. Competitor 320, Wyatt Young, Stone Acres. Gordon's on camp. Standing by then 322, Matthew Moffat. Cut out 21, Horsework 63, course 4 for an 88 for Wyatt Young and Stone Acres. That's an 88. Out on course, competitor 321, Gordon Bales and Brandy's Spoonful. On camp then is 322, Matthew Moffat, 323, standby, Stuart Frame, 324, Emma Knight, 325, Tom Wagner, 326, Beck Hayes, 327, Drew Fowles, 328, William Tapp, 329, Stephen Hart, 330, Robert Durkin. Score for Gordon Bales and Brandy's Spoonful, cut out 20.5, Horsework 64, course 4 for an 88.5. It's an 88.5 for Gordon Bales and Brandy's Spoonful. This is Cabra Horseman, Matthew Moffat on camp, competitor 322 with Springsteen. He's out on course. 323 goes into camp, Stuart Frame. Standing by 324, Emma Knight, 325, Tom Wagner, 326, Beck Hayes. And we just take this opportunity once again to thank our major sponsors, Sufcon, Colliers, Ollie Holmes, Condabri Beef, Pumps and Solar and McKechnie Earth Moving. Score for Matthew Moffat and Springsteen, cut out 22, Horsework 61, course 4 for an 87. 22, 61 and 4 for an 87 for Matthew Moffat and Springsteen. Out on course, competitor 323, Stuart Frame and Exceed. 324's on camp, Emma Knight, standby 325, Tom Wagner, 326, Beck Hayes. Score for Stuart Frame and Exceed, cutout 21, horsework 64.5, course 4 for an 89.5. 89.5 for Stuart Frame and Exceed. We only have around about 20 horses left to run to complete the Collier's Agribusiness Maiden Campdraft. And you're watching competitor 324, Emanite and Calamity. We have Tom on camp at 325, stand by 326, Beck Hayes. The score very shortly for Emanite and Calamity. Score for Emanite and Calamity, cut out 18, horsework 54.5, course 3 for a total of 75.5. That's a 75.5 for Emanite and Calamity. Tom Wagner is now out on course. He comes out as competitor 325, riding Marty. And Tom hails from Banana. I'll have a score for Tom very shortly. Beck's on camp. Beck Hayes, competitor 326. Shadak Wasabi. Sorry, Beck. And the score for Tom Wagner is cut out to 15.5. 15.5 there for Tom. Out on course, competitor 326, Beck Hayes and Shadak Wasabi. 327's on camp, Drew Fowles, stand by 328, William Tapp, 329, Stephen Hart. And that was a 20. 20 only there for Beck Hayes. Our vendor stalls, trade stalls are open, so please go and have a chat to the sponsor trade stalls, the Pump House, that's Shane Steer, Furback, Sally Gavin and Adriana Potts and Kimberly White. The Revived Timber and Deck Maintenance people, Jono Soph and Michelle, and the Western Truck Group, Erin Clark. There's also vendor trade stalls. KDB Western has a very big stall up there, men's and ladies wear. Ivy and Gus, that's boutique leather goods, bags and clutches. and there's an information stand with a live flight. So go and check out our trade stalls and our vendor trade stalls while you're here. Don't forget the live flight auction tonight. That's a 7:30 start. They'll be auctioning a road train of export quality oat and hay. I will check with Lauren, but I'm sure we'd even be able to take some phone bids on that. So if you want to spread the word, the live flight auction is on tonight. And they'll be auctioning a road train of export quality oat and hay. Out on course, competitor 327, Drew Fowles and Tubby. Into the camp goes 328, William Tapp. Standby 329, Stephen Hart. 330, Robert Durkin. 331, Robert Leach. 332, Cameron Webster. 333, Megan McIntosh. 334, William Chugg. 335, Penny McIntosh. And that was a 15.5 for Drew Fowles and Tubby. On course, competitor 328, William Tapp and Flash Spot. 329 on camp, Stephen Hart. Standby 330, Robert Durkin. 331, Robert Leach. 332, Cameron Webster. 333, Megan McIntosh. We have a score coming through for competitor 328, William Tapp, Flash Spot. Cut out 21, Horseworks 61.5, course 4 for a total of 86.5. It's an 86.5 for William Tapp and Flash Spot. At this stage, we have two 23s that we may need to run off. Just a word of warning, Ben Hall and Wilton and Matt Durkin on Dulce Style. And Wilton, we may have to run those two horses off for the cutout. So please don't get too far away. I know it's not easy to hear over the back. So if anyone sees Ben Hall or Matt Durkin, let them know they could be in line to have to run the cutout off. 329 is out on course, Stephen Hart and Trinity Contessa. 330 goes on camp, Robert Durkin. Standby 331, Robert Leach. 332, Cameron Webster. 333, Megan McIntosh. Cut out 21 only there for Stephen Hart and Trinity Contessa. Charters Towers horseman Robert Durkin is on camp with Durkin's gunman. He comes in as competitor 330. And he's out on course. Competitor 330, Robert Durkin and Durkin's Gunman. 331 goes on camp, Robert Leach with Be My Turpentine. Stand by 332, Cameron Webster. 333, Megan McIntosh. 334, William Chugg. 335, Penny McIntosh. 336, Laura Comiskey. 337, Paul Carriage. 338, Nicholas Markwell. Score for Robert Durkin and Durkin's Gunman, cut out 15.5, horsework 60.5, course 4 for a total of 80. That's 80 points for Robert Durkin and Durkin's Gunman.
Direct though.
We'll have a score very shortly for Robert Leach and Be My Turpentine. Megan McIntosh. No, that. Cut out score there of 22, horsework 55, course 3 for a total of 80 points for Robert Leach and Be My Turpentine. Our next competitor is 332, Cameron Webster and Corvette. Standing by then 33, Megan McIntosh, 34, William Chugg, 35, Penny McIntosh. Have a score very shortly for Cameron Webster and Corvette, but you're currently watching competitor 333, Megan McIntosh and AMAC Melody Man. Standing by then 334, William Chugg, 335, Penny McIntosh, 336, Laura Comiskey, 337, Paul Carriage, 338, Nicholas Markwell, 339, Matt Durkin, 340, Ian Dowsett. Please stand by. So a score for Cameron Webster and Corvette, cut out 21, horsework 62, course 4 for an 87. It's an 87 for Cameron Webster and Corvette. I'll have a score for shortly for Megan McIntosh. And that was a 21.5 for Megan McIntosh and AMAC Melody Man. Just confirming there, Megan McIntosh and AMAC Melody Man has a cutout of 21 only. William Chugg, unfortunately, was a no score. We're just tidying up the camp now. Out on course, competitor 335, Penny McIntosh, and Hell of a Time. Standing by, 336, Laura Comiskey, 337, Paul Carriage, 338, Nicholas Markwolf, 339, Matt Durkin, 340, Ian Dowsett, 341, Jackie Knudsen, 342, Jim Lawton, 343, Oliver Solano. Score for Penny McIntosh, Hell of a Time. Cut out 16, horsework 52.5, course 3 for a total of 71.5. 71.5 for Penny McIntosh and Hell of a Time. 336 is Laura Comiskey and Pistol Jane. She's out on course. Into the camp, 337 Paul Carriage. Stand by 338 Nicholas Markwell. Cut out of 21 for Laura Comiskey and Pistol Jane. Just waiting on his fresh. Competitor 337, Paul Carriage and Tyrrell Park. Out on course, competitor 337, Paul Carriage and Tyrrell Park, Metallic Frizz. 338 goes on camp, Nicholas Markwell. Standby 339, Matt Durkin. 340, Ian Dowsett. 341, Jackie Knutson. 342, Jim Lawton. Cut out 17.5 for Paul Carriage and Tyrrell Park, Metallic Frizz. This is competitor 338, Nicholas Markwell and Ladybrook Regal Sprin. Into the camp goes 339, Matt Durkin. Standby 340, Ian Dowsett. Score for Nicholas Markwell and Ladybrook Regal Spin, cut out of 16. 16 there for Nicholas. Have 20 horses left to run to complete this round. And following this round, we'll continue on with the second round of the Open. That's 201 to 403. So we're almost at the end of the Collier's Agribusiness Maiden Campdraft, the first round. Only about 20 horses left to go. Out on course is competitor 339, Matt Durkin and Hellblazer. And we'll have a score for Matt very shortly. Ian Dowsett's on camp at 340, standby 341, Jackie Knutson. And that was a cutout of 16.5 for Matt. We take this opportunity to thank our event partners, Outstation Water, Henry Earthmoving, Cobb Industry Solutions, Dulverton Angus, The Pump House, Cree, Santa Gertrudis, Roma, Wire and Steel, Herefords Australia, Shepherd Electrical, SHS SJH Builders, Sandock, Glennock, Angus and Rural Property and Livestock. Score for competitor 260, Ian Dowsett and Shandy, cut out of 17.5. 17.5 there for Ian. You're watching competitor 341, Jackie Knudsen and Kilbeggan Smitten. Standing by 342, Jim Lawton. 343, Oliver Solano. 344, Heidi Smith. 345, Rob Newton. 346, Stuart Frame. Please stand by. Score for Jackie Knudsen and Kilbeggan Smitten, cut out 16, horsework 52, course 3 for a total of 71. That's 71 points for Jackie Knudsen and Kilbeggan Smitten. Don't forget, if you want to nominate in the Jackpot Teams draft, please come and see Lauren. The nominations haven't closed yet. Please come and let her know also if you do want to nominate, and you haven't given her the team details, she'd like those as well. It's $1,000 to nominate and it pays 3 places. You're currently watching competitor 342, Jim Lawton and Dave. Stand by 343, Oliver Solano, and 344, Heidi Smith, 345, Rob Newton, 346, Stuart Frame. That was a cut out of 19 points for Jim. You're now watching competitor 343, Oliver Solano, riding Willinga Fancy Talkin'. And Oliver is from the Gold Coast. At the gate we have competitor 344, Heidi Smith, standing by 345, Rob Newton, 346, Stuart Frame, 347, Jay Pearce, 348, Rick Hopkins. 349, Brett Staines. 350, David Duncan. 351, Warren Dello. 352, Malcolm Ryan. 353, Andrew Turvey. 354, Alex Hindle. 355, Tim McLaughlin. 356, Ali Graham. And last but not least will be 357, Harvey Wakeford. But you're currently watching competitor 343, Oliver Solano with Willinga Fancy Talkin'. Score for Oliver, cut out 20, horsework 58.5, course 3 for a total of 81.5. That's an 81.5. In the camp now is our co-announcer, competitor 344, Heidi Smith, riding Smith Family Just Jerry. Standing by then 345, Robert Newton, 346, Stuart Frame, 347, Jay Pearce, and 348, Rick Hopkins. And Heidi's out on course with Smith Family Just Jerry. Rob goes on camp at 345, stand by 346, Stuart Frame. And that was a cutout of 20 points there for Heidi Smith and Smith Family Just Jerry. Very big thank you to the partners at Willinga at Juandah Plains Campdraft, Scott's Haulage, Rural Link, Injamira Herefords, Cop Rice, ECM Livestock, Westlink Petroleum, Terry Standing, Jordan Ag Services, Rich Living, Verback, Western Truck Group, DZ Designs and Roseville Santa Gertrudis. Also a big thank you to the supporters, Anapro, Duncan Equine, ADG Contracting, Queensland Agricultural Seeds, Nutrien Wandoan, Topex Taroom, Thompson Longhorn, Roma Concrete, Trevor Struber, Juandah Hotel and the Dangerfields Santa Gertrudis. And Rob has got his fresh now, so on camp is competitor 345, Rob Newton, and Dust Storm. Standing by 346, Stuart Frame, 347, Jay Pearce. Score for Rob Newton's Dust Storm, cut out 19.5, 19.5. Next competitor is 346, Stuart Frame, riding Marauders Jewel. Standing by 347, Jay Pearce, 348, Rick Hopkins, 349, Brett Staines, 350, David Duncan. That was a 22 only there for Stuart Frame and Marauders Jewel. So we have 12 horses left to run to complete the Colliers Agribusiness Maiden Camp Draft this first round. We may be requiring Ben Hall and Wilton and Matt Durkin and Dulcie Style. We may be requiring you for the runoff for the cutout. At this stage we have 2 on 23. We'll let you know. Watching competitor 347, Jay Pearce and Crawford. Rick Hopkins is on camp at 348, standby 349, Brett Staines 350, David Duncan. And that was a cutout of 21. 21 for Jay Pearce and Crawford. Out on course, competitor 348, Rick Hopkins and Tiptoe and Cat. Standing by 349, Brett Staines Conrad. Then 350, David Duncan. 351, Warren Delau. 352, Malcolm Ryan. Cutout 22, horsework 58, course 4 for a total of 84. That's 84 points for Rick Hopkins and Tiptoe and Cat. 349 is our competitor now on camp, Brett Staines with Conrad. He's almost out on the course, and into the camp goes 350, David Duncan. Standby 351, Warren Delau. Score for Brett Staines and Conrad, cut out 20.5, horsework 60.5, course 4 for an 86. It's 86 points for Brett Staines and Conrad. 350 is selecting his beast. That's David Duncan, riding Nevlin Ronell. Comes in as competitor 350. At the gates 351, Warren Delau. Standing by 352, Malcolm Ryan. 353, Andrew Turvey. 354, Alexandra Hindle. 355, Tim McLaughlin. 356, Ali Graham. And 357 is Harvey Wakeford. Just confirming the score for Brett Staines, cut out 21.5, horsework 60.5, course 4 for a total of 86. It's an 86 for Brett Staines and Conrad. We have a score of 21 only for David Duncan and Nevlin Ronell. Now, next competitor is competitor 351, Warren Delau. Out on course, competitor 351, Warren Delau with Hernani Naito. Standing by then, 352, Malcolm Ryan, 353, Andrew Turvey, 354, Alexandra Hindle, 355, Tim McLaughlin, 356, Ali Graham, 357, Harvey Wakeford. Score for Warren is a cutout of 21.5 for Warren Delau. Score for Malcolm Ryan and Ryan's Regret, cut out of 21. 21 there for Malcolm Ryan and Ryan's Regret. Looking over his cattle now is competitor 353, Andrew Tovey and Anchorman. This is Andrew's own horse, and of course he lives here on the property at Juandah and has certainly has been a major component of the organising of the Willinga at Juandah Plains Campdraft for this week. This is Andrew Turvey and Anchorman. Standing by is 354, Alexandra Hindle. Standing by then 355, Tim McLaughlin, 356, Ali Graham, 357, Harvey Wakeford. Ben Hall and Wilton, Matt Durkin and Dol Style, we may need you to run the cutout off. We've only got a couple left to go. There's the two competitors sitting on 23 at this stage. Score for Andrew Turvey and Anchorman, cut out 21, horsework 61.5, course 4 for a total of 86.5. It's an 86.5 for Andrew Turvey and Anchorman. And now watching competitor 354, Alexandra Hindle with Black Betty. And she's out on course. Into the camp, 355, Tim McLaughlin. Stand by 356, Ali Graham, 357, Harvey Wakeford. He's last but not least. Twenty-one for cutout for Alexandra Hindle and Black Betty. Out on course, compared to 355, Tim McLaughlin, riding D-Bar, Isaac Caddy 2. 356 goes on camp, Ali Graham, standing by 357, Harvey Wakeford. Just another call out, I'm not sure, can't see from up here, but I hope you're there, Ben Hall and Wilton and Matt Durkin and Dulce Style. Score for Tim McLaughlin, cut out at 21, horsework 57, course 3 for an 81. 21, 57 and 3 for an 81 for Tim McLaughlin and D-Bar Isa Caddy 2. Second last competitor, 356, Ali Graham and Mr. Mello. Standing by 357, Harvey Wakeford. Score very shortly for Ali Graham and Mr. Mello. Cut out of 21, horsework 58.5, course 4 for a total of 83.5. It's an 83.5 for Ali Graham and Mr. Mello. And this is our last competitor in the Collier's Agribusiness Maiden Campdraft, round 1. This is Harvey Wakefield and Talon. And very big thank you to Philip Kelly, the manager of Collier's, who was on our gate for quite a bit of time. I know he was there yesterday. I saw him helping out, so it's lovely to see not only these people who are sponsors, but also volunteers. Score there for Harvey Wakeford and Talon, cut out 22, horsework 63.5, course 4 for an 89.5. So it's never over till it's over. A lovely score there. Cut out 22, horsework 63.5 and a course 4 for an 89.5 for Harvey Wakeford and Talon. So Ben and Matt are waiting there to run the cutout off. We have done a draw. Matt Durkin, you're first in with Dulcie Style. And then Ben will be second in with Wilton. Don't forget to go up and see the Emmett team if you've got any sore spots or you think your horse has a few sore spots. We certainly can recommend them. There's a few announcers have been up there, some competitors that I know. So just go and see the Emmett team if you'd like to have your horse looked at or even yourself. going to have a runoff for the cutout between Matt Durkin and Ben Hall. I'm just organising the camp now. Both these competitors are coming to this cutout runoff with the 23. And at the completion of this, we will go straight on with the second round of the Open. That's competitor 201 through to 403. So if you could please be standing by. Okay, there was a 22 there for Matt Durkin and Dulcie Style. Now we have Ben Hall and Wilton. Okay, so we can tell you the winner of the cutout was Matt Durkin and Dulcie Style. So congratulations to Matty Durkin. He has won the runoff for the cutout.